guys, my name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all. So in this video, we are going to be covering Ms. Caroline Manzo suing Bravo, as well as Brandi Glanville's response to this news that's just been released. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So before we get into it, I just want to let you know, trigger warning, we are going to be talking about sexual harassment. So if you're not comfortable with that, definitely click off the video. I won't feel no type of way, and you shouldn't feel no type of way either. Protect your mind and your feelings, all right? You don't got to subject yourself to that. But basically, I'm going to be reading two articles. So the first one is coming from People. They were the ones that broke the news that Caroline Manzo is suing Bravo for sexual harassment that she's alleging or saying that she experienced by the hands of Brandi Glanville. She's also saying that the reason she's suing the network is because she feels like the network played a hand in it by pumping the ladies full of alcohol, and then, you know, the producers and them allowing people to just roam free and assault people or harass people. Then Brandi, I think I saw a header with a page 6 article where she said she was responding to it. I'm going to read that one as well. So first, let's talk about Miss Caroline Manzo in the People magazine article. Both articles links will be in the description bar below. So it goes like this. It says, Caroline Manzo files lawsuit against Bravo 1 year after claims of sexual harassment on Ultimate Girls Trip. Manzo alleges network employees plied the Real Housewives cast with alcohol and then direct and encourage or allow them to sexually harass other cast members because that's good for ratings. They say Caroline Manzo has sued Bravo over an alleged incident involving Brandi Glanville when the two former housewives were filming season 4 of Peacock's Ultimate Girls Trip spinoff. In documents obtained by People, the former Real Housewives of New Jersey star claims that the employees associated with the network, its affiliates, companies, specifically Foster's, Forest Productions, Warner Brothers Entertainment, NBC Universal Media, Shed Media, and Peacock TV regularly plied the Real Housewives cast with alcohol, causing them to become severely intoxicated, then direct and encourage and or allow them to sexually harass other cast members because that is good for ratings. When we reached out to a rep from Bravo, Peacock, and NBC Universal, they had no comment. Reps from Shed Media, Forest Productions, and Warner Brothers did not immediately respond to People's request. People has also reached out to Manzo's attorney for comment. In January of 2023, People was first to report that Glanville 51, Manzo 62 would be departing RHOGT early after Glanville allegedly took things too far during a party and kissed Manzo multiple times throughout the evening without her consent. In the lawsuit, Manzo calls herself a victim of harmful actions and seeks to hold the defendants accountable for unlawful conduct and discourage them from continuing to sacrifice their cast members' safety for ratings and profit. Glanville is not named as a defendant in this lawsuit. At the time of 2023, the incident, a source tells People, it was unwanted, and Caroline's distress over the matter did not seem to stop Brandi. Things escalated and physical boundaries allegedly were crossed that Caroline felt were serious and uncomfortable. Now, Manzo claims that Bravo caused and allowed Glanville's action of sexual harassment and assault. The flirting also states that Bravo did not require Glanville to attend sexual harassment classes mandatory for talent prior to filming. On the night of the alleged incident occurred, Manzo recalls making a conscious effort to be kind to Glanville in the wake of the fight they had earlier that afternoon. When she arrived on set, she noticed that the housewife had already started drinking and some looked visibly intoxicated. She claims that the women would make frequent comments about her breasts, asking, are they real or fake? The night progressed and Manzo and other castmates were tied to the couch near the bar and watched the snake holder. Manzo claims that Glanville walked over to her, spreading her legs and leaned into her before resting her head on Manzo's inner thigh. When she moved away, the opposite end of the couch, Glanville allegedly followed her and exerting her dominance, kissing Manzo with a close mouth. She reclaimed feeling very uncomfortable after Glanville kissed her and a second time. The document states that Glanville then proceeded to mount Manzo on the couch, holding Manzo down with her body forcibly squeezing Manzo's cheeks together and thrusting her tongue in Manzo's mouth while humping her. Manzo claimed she wasn't able to free herself despite the attempts to push Glanville's body due to former model's much greater weight, size, and strength. Manzo says she eventually broke free and excused herself to the bathroom. Manzo alleges she was in a state of shock, and the incident had triggered traumatic memories of her being sexually assaulted when she was 7 years old. Glanville and Manzo enter the bathroom at the same time as castmate Gretchen Ross and Alexia McCord, according to the lawsuit. While Manzo was washing her hands, Glanville allegedly came behind her, forcing her vagina against Manzo's buttocks, breast against her back, wrapping her long arms around Manzo, forcibly restraining her, and began washing her hands with Manzo's hands intertwined. When she went to exit, the door was locked, and Glanville repeatedly pinned her body up against the door, pressed her breast and vagina against Manzo. Attempting to unlock the door, Glanville repeatedly hit Manzo's hand away from the door. Glanville then Glanville then reached around her body and forcibly fondled Manzo's vagina and breast while pushing her face into Manzo's neck to kiss her and fouling claims. That is what the foul claims. From inside the bathroom, she cried for help, though nobody ever came. Manzo claimed the producer sent someone to investigate the bathroom door after hearing the incident, interaction and audio through never opening the door or taking any of the actions to intervene and stop the sexual assault. Manzo says she was eventually let out of the bathroom by McCord, who noticed what was happening. Later that night, Glanville attempted to go to the bathroom with Manzo for the second time, allegedly saying she had too much to drink when they rose the facility and massaged her breasts. After letting producers know about the alleged assault, Manzo requested she not be left alone with Glanville again. Despite that, Manzo received text messages the next morning from Glanville saying, "I'm sorry I made you feel uncomfortable." Manzo says she did not respond. Manzo alleges that production was more focused on the continuation of the show than her well-being and asked her to meet Glanville before she was removed and put in a nearby hotel. It says in February of 2023, shortly after the news of the incident surfaced, representatives from Peacock and Shed Media issued a joint statement to people. It says the safety and security of the cast and crew while shooting is extremely important, and we take all reports seriously, read the statement. In this situation, production immediately launched a comprehensive review and is taking the appropriate action. And then it ends with, if you or someone have experienced sexual assault, please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline, which is 1-800-656-4673, or go to rain.org. And that's how it ended. So that was a pretty lengthy article, and if you would like to read it for yourself, the link is definitely in the description bar below. But here's my thoughts, and hopefully I got them, because I keep you got points in your head just swirling. First off, I'm going to say, I actually believe Caroline that this happened, mainly because I've seen the way Brandi acts when she gets drunk. We've seen it online. But what I will say is I got questions. I have questions, and I feel as though you can believe a victim or someone and still have questions, and that is not victim shaming or victim blaming. Because if I was taught to question, even at church they told us you always question the Bible. You read to understand for yourself. Don't let somebody else's understanding help you understand. You know what I mean? You gotta to your own understanding. So if I can question the Bible, I can question you at this point. But I do feel like this more than likely probably happened to her. So my first thing is, I'm surprised that Brandi is not a defendant in this, and that Caroline is solely going after the network. Maybe because she know Brandi ain't got the money that she's asking for, but I am kind of surprised that she's going solely after the network. Two, I feel like it's going to be pretty hard for her to prove that they just be pumping these women full of alcohol, because the statement is, like it says specifically, Forest Production, Warner Brothers Entertainment, and NBC Universal Media, Shed Media, and Peacock TV regularly plied the Real Housewives cast with alcohol, causing them to become severely intoxicated, then direct, encourage, and or allow them to sexually harass other cast members because that is good for ratings. So that's the thing. These are women in their 40s, like in 50s and almost 60s. I think that's going to be pretty hard to prove that they lack, like, to put all that responsibility of like drinking and stuff onto production and not onto these women as personal responsibility. In my mind, I think it would be different if this was like Bad Girls Club. I used to be an avid watchers of Bad Girls Club, but if you watch Bad Girls Club, we knew they was just giving them girls alcohol, but most of those girls were between the ages of like 21 and 27. Like, it's easier for you to be like, your brain is malleable enough and you want to be so fame hungry that you would just do whatever production says, whereas I feel like they could go from the narrative of like, these are women in their 50s and 60s and 40s who have money outside of this show. If they are that fame hungry to drink a lot, to act erratically, that is on them, not on us. All we could do is tell them not to do it or remove you from the situation. And it looks like they did. They took Brandi out of the house after the situation happened and put her in a hotel. I don't know what else Caroline wanted them to do. Now, the whole situation that happened in the bathroom, if she can prove that like she was like yelling out for help and no one came, or no one came to like unlock the door, then she has a right to be like, no, y'all didn't come and help me. But I think that's going to be pretty hard, because I feel like they can argue the narrative of like personal responsibility when it comes to alcohol. And then to accuse them that they encourage people to sexually harass each other or direct them to do it. Like, I think to me, that's pretty hard to argue. Now, and even with the allowing part, like if they stepped in and told her no, and like we seen it, if you saw Below Deck, there was 2 instances on, I think, the last season where one of the crew members, it was a man and a woman, the girl was laying in her bed and he was drunk naked and got into the bunk bed with her, and production stepped in and was like, get out. And then there was another incident where it was a guy who, like, it was a man, he was laying in his bed, he was trying to go to sleep, and this drunk girl got in bed and was like touching on him, and they had to tell her to get out. So like, if they stepped in that way, that's mainly all they can do, is just separate you. So I don't know. I do say, like, if this is how she feels and if this is going to make her whole, or this is her way of getting justice, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I think ultimately is going to happen is that they're probably going to settle out of court, because I don't think Bravo want this type of energy on them, nor does Peacock or NBC Universal or any of the production companies that are all there calling out in the lawsuit. I think they're going to settle, and I think what's going to happen is we're never going to see this Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Morocco. They're probably going to like throw it in the vault somewhere and lock the key, throw it away. And they're either going to put Ultimate Girls Trip on the shelf for like maybe 3 or 4 years and then bring it back, or just discontinue it and we just not going to ever see it again. But yeah, I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. They either going to give Caroline her money or go to court. And I think because of the whole Bethany Frankel reality reckoning situation, I think they're going to settle with her and move on. And I think Caroline is probably going to sever ties with the network. Now let's move on to Brandi's response to all of this. So Brandi's response to this. So I'm getting this from page 6. The article will definitely be linked below. I'm going to be jumping around because I skimmed through the article and they're pretty much saying, for the most part, what was said in the People magazine, but I'm just going to focus on what Brandi had to say. So it says, Brandi Glanville calls Caroline Manzo's sexual harassment accusations absurd as ex-housewife sues Bravo. It says Brandi Glanville responded to Caroline Manzo's lawsuit against Bravo and Peacock that accused the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum of sexually harassing the Real Housewives of New Jersey's OG. Sadly, Brandi had to wake up to yet another lawsuit that includes defamatory false accusations about her. A rep from Glanville's exclusively tells Page 6. While filming, it talks about what happened, what they claim in the lawsuit that we read in the People magazine article. I guess what's new in this article is that they're actually filing this in California and New York. They had an excerpt that says the defendants include Bravo, Peacock, Shed Media. They claim that they allow, them to sexually harass their co-stars. It says Bravo and Peacock declined to make a comment. And then they talk about an interview that they did with Brandi. But when all this was really happening around September. So it says, during an exclusive interview with Page 6 in September of 2023, Glanville, who has vehemently denied any wrongdoing, laments that the narrative surrounding her headline-making interaction with Manzo felt very unfair. Prior to filming in North Africa, the Brandi Glanville Unfiltered podcast host appeared on RHUGH Ex-Wives Club, filmed in 2021 at Dorinda Medley's Bluestone Manor estate in Massachusetts, Berkshire region. The installment of the spinoff series saw a portion of castmates drinking, smoking marijuana, and engaging in same-sex flirtation. We get drunk and high, and I made out with Taylor and gave people lap dances, Glanville told us at that time. Glanville was previously mentioned in a lawsuit in October of 2023 by Marco Vega, the butler that appeared on RHOUGT Ex-Wives Club in Massachusetts, who accused her of ripping off his shirt and revealing his torso during a racist display, or ravenous, ruckus? Ooh, girl. Display. Vega alleged that the incident occurred after a striptease show. Once the fun ended the show, he claimed producers encouraged him to go over and get the women to start dancing. Vega sued Bravo for sexual abuse and harassment, claiming the network has a history of condoning inappropriate behavior from the stars. He is asking for damages. At the time, the rep Glanville told us she has the utmost respect for Marco. Anything that occurred on set that evening was requested by the producers and approved by Marco himself. When she came back for another season in Morocco, Glanville, throughout the assignment to deliver more of the same content, remained the same, but feels she was only altered for new rules once the incident with Manzo landed her in hot water. If they're going to have rules for us, we can't be shooting 15 hours a day, drinking all day long, she said, and producers telling us to bring the party because we don't have a show. In response, a source close to production told Page 6 that Glanville was never forced to drink and, like all cast members, was only encouraged to be her authentic self while filming. Page 6 broke the news in November that Peacock was debating whether or not to air the Morocco installment of RHUGT in light of the scandal plaguing the season. Meanwhile, Glanville told Page 6 in September that she wants the footage to be aired so the fans can draw their own conclusion. The longer they push my season back, the more speculation there is, she sighed. I just wanted to air and be done so everyone can have their own takeaway. And that was the end of it. So the article will be linked below. So like I said, when it came to what I spoke about in the Page 6, if they are saying that they never encouraged them to drink but told them like, hey, bring the party, that is up to that person's interpretation. Like, if they said be your authentic self, we never told them to drink, we got alcohol here, but we ain't say drink, then that doesn't make the network culpable, in my opinion. That's just me. But I can see Brandi saying of course she's going to defend herself, especially if she felt like she didn't do anything wrong. I kind of agree and disagree in the sense of like, I get air the tape so we can make our own judgment, because we know how it is nowadays. The court of public opinion can do more damage for you than at actual real court. You know what I mean? So I think Brandi is just like, I need the people to understand that I didn't do anything, that I was just being myself and I didn't do nothing wrong. So I get her wanting to air it, but I was like, it might backfire, sis. You might want them to keep it on the shelf and you just take it to court and defend yourself and maybe have a judge analyze what happened. But who knows? I do understand her feeling some type of way, because she's like, if I've been showing up this way, being the party girl, and on Ultimate Girls Trip, the ex-wives club, everyone was into it. Like, nobody was uncomfortable when they was kissing and dancing on each other, but that was consensual. But I can see her being like, if the same amount of people who came last time are coming again and we're going to have a good time, like, I'm going to show up as me if that's how I get down. But again, consent is always important. Consent is always important. So that was the article. Well, that's what we came here to talk about. But definitely both articles' links will be down in the description bar below. Please give me your thoughts. You know, be respectful, but give me your thoughts. Like, do you agree with the with Caroline filing the lawsuit against the companies, like the production companies, against the network and everybody, the showrunners and everybody involved? Or do you think her issue should solely be with Brandi? Or do you understand where Brandi's coming from, wanting them to air the season so she can prove that she's innocent? Either way, I would like to know your thoughts below. So as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you heard, and also subscribe if you like what you heard. But either way, I'm out, y'all. Deuces.